All right, y'all, so Canon came out on some, y'all forgot my name or y'all forgot who I am in these streets. Let me holler at y'all real quick. Sony, you got the A7S III, Panasonic, you got the S1H. All right, that's cool, yeah, hold these nuts though. Let's talk about it. I know for the most part, people are making videos really hyping this Canon 1DX Mark III up. And for the most part, for what it's bringing to the table, I kind of expect it. But I think we're missing a really key element here when it comes to prosumer versus your average consumer. And a lot of these specs in this camera, let's be real, like y'all don't really know what half of it means. And what I'm saying by that is that a lot of the stuff y'all won't even use in practical use, man. Let's just be real right now. The Canon 1DX Mark III is like this super DSLR, kind of a mirrorless camera hybrid. You know, it's a lot. For 6,500 bucks, if you compare it to when the 1DX Mark II first came out, you're getting like a lot of bang for your buck with this camera. I'm not even gonna sit there and say that you're not. This camera can shoot 5.5K 12-bit RAW. I mean, it could do a lot, but when you start to really think about RAW, the CF Express cards, and how you're actually gonna use it in your workflow, this camera is not for everybody. And if you are a professional, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get this camera to be on set. I think what's happening right now is Canon knows, it's kind of like doing the Apple approach, but in the Android way. We're gonna overspec everything for a lot of stuff that you don't need, but we're also gonna charge you like a pretty crazy amount for it. Now, 6,500 bucks for what this camera does, yes, it is a good price, but again, for certain people workflows, is it really gonna make, you know, is it really gonna give you the best bang for your buck for your workflow? So if you're somebody that shoot music videos, who do a lot of social media content, who do, you know, anything like, if you don't make films, a lot of your stuff is really just to your average, you know, mom and dad store or something like that, this camera is not for you. If you're a professional who shoot movies, I still don't think this camera is for you, because then you could just get better camera gear that actually suits what you need with higher dynamic range and things of that nature. So who is this camera really for? Because number one, yes, it does 4K 60 RAW, but you lose dual pixel autofocus. But let's be real here. If you're shooting a wedding and you wanted to give it RAW, don't get me wrong, RAW is amazing, right? RAW, you can change the picture profile to however you want it to look to fit your vision. But at the same token too, if you're shooting RAW, just think about how much data that's gonna eat up at those high-res files. Like that's a lot of data. So we just say you get a CF Express card, I think let's say like around 256 gigabytes. That SD card alone is gonna cost you between $400 to $500. So, and then it's dual. And you're gonna need dual cards if you plan on shooting like entire events. So if you're shooting entire events, if you really wanna use what this camera is capable of doing, then you're gonna need a lot more storage. Now you have the CF Express cards, so you know you just spend like close to an extra band on those. Now, you know, think about the storage options where you're gonna offload that storage too. So now you gotta buy bigger hard drive spaces. So now it's like, well, damn, you know, man, maybe I shouldn't really be using RAW and all that. You know, maybe I should just use this 4K 60, which is fine. But now you just have to spend $6,500 on a camera that you're not even gonna use to its full capabilities. Like, let's really think about price versus practicality. A lot of these features in this camera sounds amazing, but would I personally really be using them? No, not really. My clientele doesn't require a lot of what this camera offers. Now, if you're a sports photographer or that's a photographer period, this camera is for you. I mean, the ISO range alone is shooting at like 100 to 102,400. Now, now, if you're a photographer, for the ISO range alone, this camera may be for you in its HEIF file, so it's shooting in a 10-bit RAW codec for the pictures. And it goes from ISO 100 to 102,400, and it can be expanded to, I think, something ridiculous like 512,000. Like, it's like a really ridiculous number. I mean, and don't get me wrong, that's really impressive. It really is. If you're a photographer, especially with the 16 frames per second mechanical shutter, I mean, like to almost zero to a little blackout, this is a camera for a photographer. I feel like, man, yo, this is what you need. But if you're somebody who focuses a lot in video work, I cannot really say in good conscience that this camera be for you. And honestly, a lot of YouTubers that's gonna come out making these videos say how amazing this camera is, my thing is a lot of BS, because it's 9 times out of 10 they won't even be for YouTube content. If you're a YouTube content creator and you buy this camera for that, I think you are on some type of drugs or you're sniffing markers. It's one of the two. Because for what you're gonna do, this is gonna make your workflow so much harder. It makes no point or no sense at all to even sit there and own this type of camera for what you're gonna do. So to me, as of right now, the Canon 1DX Mark III is like I think this is Canon's way of showing its dominance, showing that, yo, if we wanted to be a Panasonic S1H and pack everything and pack this camera to the gills with 422 10-bit and current internal 4K 60 recording, like if we really wanted to show y'all and flex our muscle, we just want to let y'all know that we could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Canon was. I think this is a chess move for Canon to kind of like take a stance like, we out here, don't disrespect us. The Canon EOS R was just like, you know, still not gonna talk about that. But the Canon 1DX Mark III let them know like their camera proud. It's like we are still top dog in this game. But from a real practical use, if you are a YouTube content creator, if you're somebody who make home videos, or just kind of want a camera that, you know what I'm saying, for a running gun, this is not the camera for you. This camera is super big. It is super high demanding as far as file size is concerned, and just the things you have to do with it to make it work properly. It's just not, it doesn't warrant it to me. Like for me, my personal workflow, I can never see myself buying a Canon 1DX Mark III. But I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you're a running gun shooter, and I really want to know. I'm not saying this just to kind of get comments. I really want to know, for those who are interested in a new Canon camera, even if you have a Canon 1DX Mark II, is this Canon 1DX Mark III really, like, is it really going to improve your workflow? Like, be real here. If you are coming from like a Sony camera or a Panasonic camera, you're gonna get a way bigger body. You're gonna have to handle way bigger file sizes. So if you right now out the gate, this $6,500 price tag on this Canon 1DX Mark III to me seems like it's really gonna hit more of a $10,000 price range just from storage options alone. And then on top of that, if you don't have any EF glass, you still gotta buy new Canon glass. So it's like, man, is it really $6,500? I don't think so. But let me know down in the comments below if you plan on buying this camera. If so, why? And are you really thinking of from a practicality use, or are you getting kind of caught up in the hype and specs? I really feel like this is gonna happen this year with like a lot of cameras. They're gonna get caught up in the hype with specs, think you need this, you need that. But at the end of the day, once compression hit all of these cameras, don't even matter. Like right now I'm shooting this a 10-bit HLG on my GH5. It's gonna go through compression. It's gonna look like a normal YouTube video. Just a fact. But I could be wrong. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Other than that, it's your boy Shawn Brooks, creative director of Brooks Media, and I'm out. Deuces.